Farouk here with our brother from Mubashirun, Salahuddin and Hassan. Got Yusuf in the house, mashallah, One Message Foundation. We got our brother Amar, mashallah, who's our cameraman slash editor slash overall da'wah support team now, mashallah. So we're here back in the UK because we got banned from going into Trinidad. And alhamdulillah, we had the da'wah tour planned. And again, we're doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A couple of the charities were also working with us so that we could take food and needy supplies for the people in need in Trinidad. And the whole point was to spread the da'wah, the Quran and the Sunnah, and the way of the Salaf al-Ummah. Alhamdulillah, we went, and when we got there, they had our names, and they turned us right back around. Didn't let us enter the country. No reason, really. Put us back on a flight. And it's really kind of sad because I was really looking forward to meeting the people of Trinidad. And if you're in Trinidad and you're watching this, you should ask your government why. Because, people that are coming to Trinidad to spread evil, whether it's to do drugs or clubbing or whatever else that they may be coming that's evil, they're not getting stopped. I mean, people that were on the flight with us that were going there for parties, that were going there to, possibly misuse the people of Trinidad for their own pleasures, for money or whatever else. I don't want to be explicit, but you guys know what I mean. They didn't stop, right? But us that were gonna go peacefully, I mean, we're not there to cause any problems. We're not, none of us are criminals. None of us have criminal backgrounds. We're out there trying to spread a good message, take food and money and resources to people in need. We get barred, why? And this is why Islam is the truth and the haqq, because the people, when they see it, even though it's not doing anything that anybody could object to, they still object to it because the truth, when it's like light. And when light comes, darkness runs. And when light comes, the darkness fights it. Why? Because it knows its truth. Subhanallah, this whole, and again, I mean, I don't want people to think this was just some kind of walk in the park, because we're not doing this for money. We're doing this for the sake of Allah. I mean, we've spent 18 hours now on planes because it was a 9-hour, flight there, and then getting right back on. I mean, we haven't laid down on a bed in 2 days or 3 days.
Waiting in the airport as well, Sheikh.
Waiting in the airport, and we're going to talk about the experience. But I just want to talk about this at first. That look, what we know, Subhanallah, um, is there were Muslims, Muslims by name, that were involved in trying to stop us from going. And that tells you something, that these people, the people of bid'ah, the people of desires, they're not people that can debate. They're not people who can discuss. They're not people with evidences. They're not people who are willing to know or share the truth. But they're people that will just they will use kuffar and they will use authorities to block a Muslim just because they know that if that truth gets to their lands, then it's going to spread. And that tells you who's on the truth. But if you're watching, whether on YouTube, whether on TikTok, wherever you're watching, I want you to be with us firm on the haqq. We're not going to falter. The da'wah is not going to stop. They cannot stop the truth any more than you can stop the sun from rising, than the light from spreading. I want you guys to be involved. Share this live, share the videos. They've tried to shadow ban us. Now they're trying to stop us from going to places, but we're not going to let it happen. If you're in Trinidad, ask your government, why would you stop them? Because we have nothing but love for the people of Trinidad and the country of Trinidad. We mean nothing but good for them. We want to help those in need. We want to sit and peacefully spread a beautiful message to uplift the people. How is that something that is national security threat or undesirable? In what way? See, that makes absolutely no sense. And if you're a Muslim sellout who is so afraid of the haqq, check yourself. Think about it. If you're on the haqq, sit down, bring the Quran, bring hadith. Whoever has the adillah and evidences will follow it. But if you're going to use kuffar behind the scenes, backstab Muslims, you're pathetic. You're the loser. This is why when you talk about unity and you talk about being together, but then you do things like this, it shows you why the Muslim ummah is in the situation that it's in. So, again, we haven't had sleep, we haven't had rest, we haven't had, proper food. We've been traveling, going from here to there, being, treated as criminals. I mean, and I'm gonna let Salahuddin talk a little bit about the experience that we had when we landed, just so you can get the idea of what we're going through.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Azza wa Jal for giving us the opportunity to plan such an event. Alhamdulillah, Sheikh, we had an amazing outcome. Like so many people in the Caribbean wanted us there. Members of the actual parliament wanted us there as well. Ministers wanted us there. And subhanAllah, when we landed, it was a total different situation. I'm sure all the brothers, everyone here can agree on it, Hassan, that when we got here, we had mixed emotions. Hassan himself, he said that when he got off the plane, and you said it as well, didn't you? That it felt very, very weird, strange, because they felt like, and obviously Sheikh was in front of us, so you had to unfortunately experience it before us. So when we who was with me? You was with me, right? Yeah. Who else was with me? Was you, Nick? Was you with me? Yeah. Umar was you with me? Yeah. You was with me, right? Yeah. So when we were walking, we saw the Sheikh, and we saw with two other brothers from the charity, and was wondering why they're not in the same line as us. And they were just talking to one of the officials, a border force or whatever that person thinks he is. Yeah, right. Yeah. Shout out to whatever his name is. Yeah.
Nobody.
So what happened was, obviously we saw them, so we carried on going anyway, and then that's when we heard that they had been stopped. So we thought, why have you been pulled away from the queue? Obviously 2-3 seconds later, we realized that we've all been stopped. And subhanAllah, there was no reason for it. Absolutely no reason. We asked them a million times. They kept sending us to different people. Every single person had something different to say, right? And no, the stories weren't matching up. And there was no reason, no official governmental reason or whatever. It was just because we were undesirable. I mean, Allahumma barik, we're not undesirable, are we?
also mention the fact that so also the fact that we were obviously on an official trip. So when they said, oh, we're stopping you, we said, okay, khalas. So we spoke to the team on the ground, Caribbean Dawah Association, to get in contact with the ministers and the officials that they had contacts with. But they weren't even allowing us the opportunity to basically speak to them and sort it out. Like, give us half an hour, give us an hour. Literally, sign the document that you're being deported and get on the next plane. Like, at least give us like a few minutes to allow us to plan. But like, they're like, no, sort it out. Appeal after. Like, like when?
Get on the flight immediately is what they said. Oh, well. Oh. Astaghfirullah, it is what it is.
What were they telling you? They were like,
back.
just sign it.
No, they were saying like you got to get out of here immediately. Like may want them out of here now. Come on. Like literally. I'm not even joking. That's what he said. Was it good? I'll take it.
For all your time, man, that's probably the best one you've done so far.
Really? Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. No.
Both.
Nah, but alhamdulillah, it is what it is. Maybe Allah saved us from, something else that worse could have happened with that corrupt government down on the ground.
I mean, you do have to question. They were saying this is directly from the Minister of National Security or the head of. I was like, Minister of National Security, nothing better to do with this time? Like we're not out there with some guns or anything like that. We're peaceful people. We're out there spreading peace. We're out there spreading a message. If they're afraid of us talking to people about Islam on the streets, man, that's really not something that national defense ministers should be looking at. Like they should be looking at bigger threats to their country. So that was shocking to me. I mean, again, don't think this is going to stop the dawah. Alhamdulillah, this is going to grow the dawah even more. Because all of you watching, you realize what they're trying to do, and you're going to stand with us. You're going to share the videos more. You're going to support financially, whatever you can, and the dawah is going to grow more because the people are going to stand with the truth. You can't stop the dawah. I'm not worried about the dawah, but it's just something, a waste of time and effort. And what benefit does that bring to anybody? And the sad, again, something I find pathetic is that a Muslim would be involved in any way of trying to stop a da'wah. It just doesn't make sense. We're not out there trying to take over anybody's masjid or trying to, spread or organize. No, we're out there. قال الله وقال الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام. And we're out there talking about tawheed and jealousy, whatever it may be. It's really pathetic. And when you look at the situation of the Muslim world around the world, and everybody's blaming this and that, but think about this: if you know somebody's going to come to your country and spread nur, light, Quran, is not even going to mess with your dars or something. No, he's going to go out and speak to kuffar on the streets and call them towards tawheed and increase the number of Muslims in your country, and you're jealous of that? That's pretty pathetic. But alhamdulillah, I'll tell you there's something wonderful. As we were sitting and getting ready to go, before we took off, we were hanging out at our brother's house, and I noticed one of the brothers there was somebody who was from a Hindu background and was Muslim, alhamdulillah, from the Mubashirun. And we had our brother Umar with us, who's also a revert himself. And I thought, alhamdulillah, that Allah has blessed this ummah, that the da'wah is growing, and those people that become Muslim are involved in the da'wah themselves. People may not realize this, but one of our most viral clips, one of the best clips that we've ever had, I think the one clip from it that had 24 million views, and other clips from the same video are at 10, 15 million as well. The video itself went crazy, and then that's just on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok or Instagram and whatever else, that video probably has like 1 billion views. Brother Umar is the one that actually filmed it, and we were in Nottingham. There's a bald, I don't know what you like, Caucasian man, or I don't just call him white. Huh?
Real Englishman.
Well, that's an interesting thing, right? Because in England, when they want to refer to somebody who's not Muslim and white, they say English. But you're all English, right? I mean, if you're a British passport and you live in England, you're English, Such a funny thing, because he was saying the same thing. He was going, I'm English, how can I be Muslim? Like, well, he's English, he's Muslim, and he's English and he's Muslim, and he's English and he's Muslim, and we're not. We're Americans, but we are Muslim, right? But I'm just saying, it's kind of a interesting mindset that we see here. Like we don't really see that in America. Even the real right wing guys that are like super, I don't know, whatever, will hardly ever come to you and say, how can I be Muslim? I'm American. Like nobody says that. But that's interesting that that's a mindset here. But yeah, bald, white, I don't know, English, whatever he was.
He was fresh out of the pub.
Fresh out the pub. But yeah, so he was like, what did he say? I forgot, man. Yeah, break it down for us, inshallah.
So, bismillah, I think he came up to the stand and he was quite interested about what we were doing, what we were doing, and what the message was we were talking about. And I think you asked him about his beliefs, and he obviously stated the fact that he was a Christian, but he was quite confused in his beliefs. He couldn't really explain it that well. And then it was like a 30-minute cycle of going through the conversation that he believed that Jesus was God, and then he was a messenger, and then he was God, and then he was a messenger, and then the same thing again and again. And then we ended up getting to the conclusion that his beliefs aligned with Islam, and that he had the beliefs of a Muslim, and that he believed that he couldn't be a Muslim because he's a white Englishman. And like you said earlier, there was about four of us at the stand who were all white English reverts, and I don't think he could handle it and left. Yeah, but may Allah guide him, and he goes back to the Dawah store quite regularly to speak with the brothers.
Because people may not realize that we didn't pay him, first off.
Yeah,
we get a lot of people thinking that we hired him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could find an actor that well.
No, there's no casting you can get that perfect.
If you can be that much of a method actor, man. Anyway, and secondly, I mean, he wasn't like a person with mental issues or something, or many people in the comments if he has some kind of like mental health issues, but he doesn't. He's somebody who lives in that community. He works in that community. I believe the brothers were saying he even owns a business around there, and he's somebody who has engaged with us even after that. He has come back, and I want to send a shout out to Brother Abdul Rashid and the Nottingham Dawah, what's it called, right?
Nottingham Islamic Information.
Nottingham Islamic Information. Yeah. They're doing great da'wah out there. Abdul Shakur as well, and all the brothers out there. Hasib, mashallah. Who else is out there? Salahuddin. Brother Harun. All the brothers doing da'wah in Nottingham. Alhamdulillah, whichever masjid or whatever is doing it, they're doing a great job. So yeah, so that man, he actually came back and he has, continued that conversation, learning about Islam. But one thing I found really funny about him, and again, like I just want to be clear, you can check the clip on One Message Foundation. If you just go to Shorts and look at popular, the first one is his, um, is that he was very confident in what he said, but when he got corrected, he was very confident in being wrong. Because he's like, when he did the little cross symbol, I don't know, the wallet, watch and whatever, the Catholic thing they do, right? I told him, did Jesus do that? He says, yeah. And then I told him, Jesus didn't do that. And he goes, no, he didn't. What? I said, Jesus prayed with his forehead to the ground. He goes, yes, he did. I was like, wait. I remember in one clip, he's, and the whole video's on the channel as well. He's like, I said, was Jesus God? He goes, yeah. I said, does God know everything? He goes, of course God knows everything. I said, did Jesus know the hour? He goes, no, he didn't. So Jesus can't be God then? Yeah, no, he can't be God. The confidence there was amazing, but alhamdulillah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, though. I mean, whatever you want to share with the world, and we're not trying to get too private. But again, I think it's always amazing to see people like yourself, who are relatively new to Islam. We call somebody a new Muslim even, like after 30 years of being Muslim because it's a card. Use it, man. Like if I could juice it longer, I would juice it. Any mistake you made, it's okay, brother. New Muslim. Anytime you do a total, comment that's off the wall, brother, it's okay. New Muslim. 30 years. But alhamdulillah, you are new. Relatively, and alhamdulillah, you're involved in the da'wah. Mashallah, the work you did, even in that one trip, it benefited millions of people around the world. I mean, like I said, that video, that clip by itself probably has 1 billion views if you link all the different platforms. And many people, alhamdulillah, that even became Muslim later, when they mention how they found the channel or how they got into it, a lot of time is that one video. Yeah, alhamdulillah. We've had people that came, like, how'd you learn about Islam? It's like, well, I was going through my feed and I saw this really funny clip and then I clicked on the channel and then, alhamdulillah, they end up becoming Muslim. So, yeah, alhamdulillah. That's one of the things I want to say. When I travel, there's a couple of things I love. One of them is when you meet somebody who tells you, I became Muslim from watching your videos. Because from us, like think about it, like right now we're all tired, we're all like sleep messed up. Like, somebody, like I fell asleep right now in the car. I was just out, and I know Yusuf's been out, and the other brothers, mashallah. I know Salahuddin hasn't slept at all, man. This brother, mashallah. Everybody's, subhanallah. I mean, I don't want to get too detailed on all the hardships, because again, they're not hardships compared to what the Salaf al-Salihin and the Sahaba and the Anbiya went through. But our brother Hassan, even before somebody stole his bags, so people, shaitan, he's trying to stop the da'wah any which way he can. So he hasn't had his belongings. All of our luggages that were checked in were taken from us and still haven't been given back to us. So we're all the same clothes. We got nothing. And subhanallah, brother Salahuddin's phone was taken. So I mean, imagine being without your phone. That's torture. That's like unusual. It's like cruel and unusual torture. It's forbidden by the Constitution, right? Right. So Geneva, this is a violation of the Geneva Convention, right? So even with all that hardship, we're alhamdulillah, we're happy. We thank Allah. I mean, this is nothing compared to what the Salihin have gone through. But for us, this is what we see. We see the hardships. When I'm out at the table, it's just debates and arguments. Somebody's getting angry. Somebody's trying to hit you, right? So when you travel and you meet people that benefited from those videos, it makes you really happy, because somebody comes and say, I was away from the deen. I saw your video. I came to the deen. Makes me very happy. Alhamdulillah, you feel that you are making a difference. And I see a lot of people that come up to me and say, hey, I watched this video of yours. Like I recently, brother said, I was caught up in the mafia world. I saw your story, how you came to Islam, and it inspired me to leave that world and become Muslim, and it made me very happy. So alhamdulillah, I've had multiple people that have, when you start breaking, like, how'd you learn about Islam? A lot of people, they don't even have Muslim friends. It's because of all the people watching that share, that like, that subscribe, that pass on that da'wah, that it reaches those people. A lot of people have mentioned that particular video. So may Allah accept it. Barakallah.